Okay, it's Wednesday, April 19th. This is an end of the day SPY recap, and today we end up with a two down green bar, meaning we took out the lows of the previous day for a two down, but yet we closed green sort of near the top of the range. And in addition, on the two down day, we did not reach our expected target. You have a two down day, you're kind of expecting to broaden out below this bar here. And then even this bar that on Friday that was close to it, and instead price immediately started up at the open, and we talked about how that could be a powerful signal when you have a two down day and an overall uptrend and you can't reach your target. Then the next two up day has very high probability to reach its target up here, and in the end we're still looking at this green line as our monthly target. We've been monitoring the monthly chart that's in two up mode all month, and we still have time to go to hit our target up here at the green line. So again, the weekly chart being kind of exhausted a little bit. That's why I think we're getting some of this choppiness. You know, you have two up, two up, two up, two up, two up. That's like 5 weeks in a row. Even within the uptrend to the green line, you could have a little bit of a red bar in here. We haven't even had that yet. So instead, the market's choosing to be very choppy as it grinds up, but there's still that upward bias. And the key today was we were monitoring very closely this yellow line. That was the open of the week. And if we go to the intraday 15-minute chart, after the pre-market range, which was between the blue lines, kind of skewed a little lower, we were opening up a little bit off the bottom here on the first bar, and this was right at this yellow line, or the open of the week. So this was sort of a real important level to see what would happen here at the open, and price initially started to, and you also had, you could see an area to take out some stops before possibly heading lower. So, you know, you had the two down day, and you are thinking maybe we'll have a bit of a pullback towards these targets, and you're just going to watch the opening price. If we could have gotten a breakout to the downside of these first, then you had an inside bar on bar two. If you could have gotten a breakout to the downside, that would have failed, taking out, you know, you were taking out these stops, failed, had 2 bars of pause, and then started lower. You would have anticipated taking out the pre-market lows and then even moving towards our lower targets. But instead, the market immediately, or, you know, after 2 bars of pausing, you know, came up pretty strongly on bar 3, and that's why you knew that was right at the open of the week. So you're still keeping the weekly chart green at the moment. We know our monthly chart is green, and then the daily chart, just moving up from the open, was also green. So the continuity on at this key yellow line, which we, you know, had in play since the beginning of the week, kind of told you had to get long here and anticipate the possibility of a failure. At that point, you want to see if it quickly moves up towards the midpoint of the prior day. Instead, it kind of grinded up there, and that was kind of the area where it then paused. So all you can do today was kind of get long in some fashion, and then kind of know, you know, you're looking for like a reversal kind of day, which would have to get really beyond the midpoint of the day. It did get beyond the midpoint of the prior day, but it happened kind of later in the session on a grind. The best trades to get an outside bar to the upside, where you take out the low of the previous day, high of the previous day, is when you get that immediate failure, and maybe the first bar or two you get very close to the midpoint. Then you can anticipate, you know, heading all the way up there. Instead, it was more of just a failure at the morning to go lower and grind it up all day. Now we get the actionable signal to the upside. I'm not going to guarantee it takes place, but it would be a powerful signal now when we watch the open and pre-open, you know, and pre-opening range tomorrow, to kind of break to the upside and make this a 2-up day, because that'll then target the weekly high, and it looks like we'll get closer and closer to our monthly high. So this is now an actionable signal and an uptrend finally. We haven't had one of those developing for a while on the daily chart, so we'll see if we kind of hold the midpoint of this day tomorrow and start higher. Anything's possible though, and that's why we always watch the pre-market range and opening price action relative to our context. And today it's said to be biased to the upside, even though we were gapping down a little bit.